What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Chop Shop 205. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I clap. I just that's my little coaching thing, right? My little let's get ready. So check it out. You know, we got obviously, this is the illustrious team right here. So I'm gonna let the team introduce themselves. I'm Mr. Esquire.
I am me.
I'm my Maestro, Larry the Maestro. Glad to see y'all again.
I love it, man. We glad to see y'all again, man. We gonna get it hype, man. So I ain't gonna waste a lot of time. You know what I mean?
Bro, what's that on your vision board?
Say what now?
What's that on your vision board?
Come on, right here.
You get it right, bro. You got your dry erase marker budget just like out the roof.
Bro, I got different
You
sizes.
got different colors. You got different colors.
Yeah, red, blue.
Oh, different sizes. Oh.
I'm looking like, hey, I just noticed it a little back down. I'm like, bro got scriptures up there. He got a plan for the day. He died. What he gonna eat through the week?
I'm
Got
talking
some
about
redacted items up there.
Man,
That's
what you do, man. Honestly, when I read stuff or hear stuff, I don't always have time to like grab my notebook. That board has saved my life some days because I get lost and I can just look at the board and go, you know what, there it is. Like I give y'all one real simple that I'm loving right now.
This one for y'all. Go ahead. Yeah.
Is this says stop beating yourself up, when it comes to like your mistakes. Just find the good parts from your lesson and move on.
Facts.
So I'm gonna actually use that as a little bit of a springboard for the topic because we're talking about friends for life versus friends for a season. And I mean, I don't know where you at, whoever's listening, I don't know what part of the country you in, but it's wintertime where we're at. Don't let the short sleeves fool you. 205, right? My man got a hoodie on. So check this out. I was thinking about this real deeply because, friends for life is easy, right? We can talk about, man, I've been knowing this dude all my life, man. It's my homie, friend for life, right?
Right.
Those are, I think, easier to identify and they're easier to understand. To me, the harder one is the friend for a season because sometimes we don't appreciate the fact that this person is a friend for a season. There's nothing wrong with that season coming to an end, but we don't want to let go and we hang on too long and we stay in that season with the friend, but we don't move on to our next season. So for me, it's a process that I just kind of go through. Like I've gotten better at it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more intentional. I'm more intentional about looking at my friends and just saying, you know what? If this person isn't have value, it doesn't mean they aren't valuable. It's not a judgment on that person, but it is a judgment on, okay, where am I at in my life? And do I have the time, energy, effort, and all the stuff that goes into a friendship? And if it's for a season, that's cool. Because guess what? Excuse me, that's my phone. Sometimes seasons come back. So it's not so much to throw the person away either. This is not about like, I'll never talk to you again. No. But it might not be the season for that friend. That's good. That's just how I've been chopping it up, man. I'm interested to see how my chop shop mates, how they look at it while I silence my phone.
This is good for me. I'm gonna jump in. This is good. I've had to do that with friendships. Every now and then you should do some kind of I'm gonna say an annual review, a periodic review of what people mean to you in your life, and if they don't serve you or y'all don't serve each other, it's not beneficial. They really shouldn't be around. It becomes a distraction or a liability. But at the same time, there are some people that just are designed to come in your life for a moment just to teach you something that you need then. I'm curious. I got a question. A friend for a season, would they really be a friend or just somebody you kind of do you give them the credit of being a friend or just?
I don't know. You know what? That's something that didn't come to mind, but I'm gonna answer your question by saying yes.
Okay.
I believe you.
Say what?
Friendship is relative. You may think they're a friend. They may just think you're a friend for a season.
You didn't put it.
Well, and that's the thing, right? That's what makes this whole thing interesting. is you can literally you can interchange a lot of those pieces, right? Because you got people in your life for life who aren't your friends.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're gonna always be around, and a lot of us call them family. I'm saying relative, but we don't. But they aren't friends, and we know they're not friends. We like, man, that dude ain't my friend, man. That's my whatever. Then you have, and I love what the two of you just did. Is you can have someone in your season that's not a friend. I'm not sure what you do with that person. So I'd love to, I am me, Mr. Fox. I would love to ask you to explore that a little more with us and tell us what do you do when someone comes into your season that's not a friend?
Who, me necessarily, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just learned how to decipher somebody who's a friend for life and a friend for a season. And in this situation, I say it like this. You determine on the circumstances. I mean, you can't necessarily say that, I'll meet somebody at my job and we become real cool. And I go to my next job and I'm still cool with that person. We still talk every day like we talk when we were at work. That may not be the case. We were cool while we were at work. We move on. We went separate ways, and I'm moving on, you moving on, and everybody moving on. I take it like just for example, Mr. Esquire. I know he's told this story a lot of times about how we reconnected when we were in the gym. But when I sat there and really thought about it, because I'm pretty sure he hasn't really heard my side, but when I sat there and really thought about it, I was like, there's a reason why I saw that dude that night. I grew up with a sister. I grew up seeing him around, so like it was a reason why, what I'm saying, that I saw Courtney that night at the gym, right before I got ready to go to work, and then that connection just started, what I'm saying, and it went from there, as you see where it's led to, so it's hard to do it because it could have been Courtney was like, okay, cool, you good person to work out with. You're going to give me a good workout, but outside of the gym, bro, I don't really want to deal with you. And that would be something I would just have to accept. But understanding the friends for life, friends for a season for me is you just have to understand the circumstances. I know when you're young, if you're under 18, this is definitely for you. If you're young, it's hard to tell who's your friend and who's not. It's hard to tell who's your friend for just a season and who's going to be there to you 80 years old. In my lifetime, unfortunately, I don't have those type of friends that I've been friends with since diapers all the way up to now. I don't have that. Me and my friends, we separated, moved on with our lives, and everybody's living their own separate life. And that's just something you have to accept. Because I will tell you this: the longer you hold on to the fact that somebody moved on from you, the longer you can be stuck in that spot.
You said something.
Yeah. Okay. Maestro, you want to put something on it?
Yeah. I have friends that I have reconnected with in this season since the pandemic. Like literally, like people but we didn't really fall out. And I heard that in your introduction, Mr. Esquire. I kept hearing like you can be a friend for a season and then not be a big blow up or break up or they don't have to betray you for them not to be your friend anymore. A lot of people look for agreement and then they want disagreement. Like that's nuance to friendship. Yeah. No. Reconnected with from my childhood. That's some good guys, good men and good women that I like what they're doing now, or I like what I think, what I see, as far as compatibility. Like, let's throw that word in there.
Yeah, compatibility is definitely true, especially as you get
older.
Going
the same way, or do we complement each other? Oh, yeah.
Man,
or do I frown?
I will tell y'all this, and I'm gonna challenge Fox just a little bit. I have a friend who is a friend for life, but we are stuck in the same season. We cannot move past where we are. It is a very, what's the word I want to use it? We know what it is. We know when we connect and what we connect on, but there's no growth. And I know there's no growth. And I'm not looking for it anymore. And it was a reconciliation that I had to have when I said, man, you know what? Truthfully, this friendship, this is it. This is the pinnacle of this friendship. Now, he's a good dude. He's a good brother, right? And I look at it and I say, I leave the door open always, just in case. I never know. God may deem something to take place. So, you don't throw away good people, right?
Mhm.
But the reality is, I'm like, I don't have time the way I used to, because that season I'm not in that season in my life. And every time I hang out with him, I end up in that particular season, and it's just me reminiscing, and I once heard that, when you talk about when your conversation with another person, the lowest form of conversation is reminiscing.
Oh, okay.
And what that is it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. I mean, if you find yourself with somebody and all y'all talk about is what you used to do,
Yeah,
you're not
Used
growing.
to be
Man,
don't
you
make
remember
no
when we used to, man. And that's cool occasionally. Everybody likes to reflect. But I realized, I said, dude, if I spend 2-3 weekends or 2 or 3, outings a month or whatever, a year, 4, 5, whatever, just reminiscing, that's time I should be focused on growth. And I can't do it. Now, I like to do it about once or twice a year because I said it's a good brother, man. He really is. And I see things in his life that are amazing. And I'm like, dude, I love that you're doing that. But for whatever reason, we're stuck. And I get it and I appreciate it, right? Now, when it comes to, friend for a season, like what's interesting is, I look at y'all and I'm like, okay, it started in a season. I could see it being for life. I really could. But I'm always going to be, and this is part of my own maturity, right? I'm always going to push for let's keep growing. Because I realize there are some situations where I'm like, dang, I kind of lost touch with the brother and I think about people who may have done that to me. I guarantee there's somebody out there right now that's like, man, Courtney's a good dude, but man, he wasn't talking about nothing, so I had to cut him loose. And that's because I wasn't mature at the moment. I can't be mad at that man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, keep it pushing. I get it, dude. So that's what I mean by, like, for me, I try to take some of the tension out of it. And like you said, Maestro, I try to take some of the combativeness out of it and really understanding, like, okay, it's cool. It's funny you would mention my board because I think I got it up there. I don't know if it's up there or not, but I heard something this week that really blew my mind where it said, everyone you fight is not your enemy, and everyone that helps you is not your friend. And I'm like,
that's good.
Okay. I'm with it. I get that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, and I think we do have to be honest about things like, okay, it's important, first of all, to define friend.
You read my mind.
Ideally, you aren't dealing with folks who aren't your friends. I mean, that's just being real, right? Especially when I'm going to say for men, when you turn 40, you really should have a clear understanding of what a friend means to you. I think women probably get there a little sooner, but, men for sure, when you turn 40, you should know what a friend looks like. And you should have had the value of a friendship by that time. If you haven't, man, I apologize. I mean, that's a hard life, right? You should know who you are. He got I am me. I love that. Who are you? Because your friends are going to reflect you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Like I had always stated, going back to this friend for a season, like you said to start, we did this podcast started in the season. It's grown and it's kept going, and we can do this for a while. But I mean, like I said before, man, friendship is relative. Well, my idea of our friendship may be different from yours, and I mean that's cool. I am one of those people who I'm very transparent. I try to be as transparent as possible. I'm not easy to read, but I'm transparent. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to, drag you into something that you don't know what's going to happen. And my biggest thing is understanding that once you put those barriers up, and it's fine to do so. Hey, look, you don't have to say it like that, but like, hey, bro, look, I only hang with you when I go to strip club, or I only hang with you when I go to the library, or I only want to hang with you when I go to the gym, or and you put those barriers up, that's fine. But understand that person on the other end may not see that you may have done something to them that they may have never experienced. Walking up and telling them, "Oh, you're doing a good job working out, you're losing weight," boom, blow. You know what I'm saying? And it just friendship is relative to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And once you understand it, I feel like you can decipher, if it's gonna be for life or for a season.
True indeed. True indeed. Are you just kind of, again, I'm chopping it up as we go through this. What do you do when you reach the situation? Like, what's your evaluation process? I know what mine is, and I think I tried to explain that, but I'm curious, what's your evaluation process for determining a life friend versus a seasonal friend?
Well, the very first thing you have to decipher first off is that this person is a friend, regardless if it's gonna be for life or a season, and why is this person around you? Me personally, I don't have people around me just for the sake of being around me. Is there some common interest there? And like I said, I mean, even if Courtney, you were like, I just want Josh to be my workout partner. That's my gym buddy. Go work out together, and that's it. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? As long as we're growing in the gym and we're getting better, you know what I'm saying? As long as there's something. And the biggest thing for me was in that situation was to kind of bring home the point was the fact that I was getting better, but I was in the lead. You were getting better while you were following, and then you took the lead on your own. And that's why I was like, okay, yeah, I can see myself going to the gym, because he ain't gonna sit there and talk to me for 45 minutes about, what's going on in his life or some bull. He may talk, but he gonna talk, get a set in, and then I get my set in, and while I'm getting my set in, he gonna talk. You it's always constantly moving, constantly production, constant growth. You see what I'm saying? And that's basically how you determine if this person is a friend for life or a friend for a season. If you have a job, guarantee this person is gonna be a friend for a season unless you invite that person into your life on your own. If it's outside of a job, the likelihood of being a friend for a life is very exponential. I mean, but it's all in how you determine it,
Yeah. I have to be around you for a few seasons to know if you're gonna be a friend for life, because I got to see how you act in different situations.
You don't have no ratchet friends? I'll be hanging out the window with your ratchet friends.
I got a few of them.
What do you say? Everything's a dating situation. I gotta
know if I can count on you. Yeah. Because you can definitely count on me. I'm loyal by nature. I'm loyal to a fault where I have been taken advantage of so many times. But you grow, like I said, I'm 39. I'm on the road to 40. So you grow and you learn and you get the lesson and you adjust accordingly. But
I'm telling you, as a 40 plus, you're not that far off. And I do believe there's a shift at 40. For men, I really do.
Somebody told me yesterday, they was like, it's coming. Yeah.
I look at 40 like, okay. I look at to me, life has like an arc. To me, 40 to 50 is halftime. Like you halfway through whatever, your expected life cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you live to be 100 years old, 50's half, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, you 40, you still on the up, but 50, I'm gonna say you starting a level, and then from 50 is down. Now, if you 50 and you still learning lessons that you should have caught on the up, you late. And can't and that's one of them, if you late for class, it is what it is. Teachers ain't gonna wait on you. They already, life is the teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life ain't gonna wait on you. Life gonna be writing on that board right there, the lesson, and you just gonna have to catch up. But 40 is like, okay, you're not a freshman either, right? I mean, you basically a senior getting ready to graduate, because all the lessons you learn, you should be applying them. At 40, that application of all these lessons, and trust me, there are people that get it in their 30s, and that's the people I look at. I'm like, dude, that dude's ahead.
If you get in your 20s, it's a wrap. You destined for greatness.
Man, people that get in their 20s, man, especially men, I'm gonna put it out there, especially men. If you're a man and you get it in your 20s, that's like, I mean, God bless you. You know what I mean? Like you say, that's a hard
because you just not having a chance to do good and bad things. You just
you do everything right in your 20s, yo.
You know, most black men don't have the opportunity to.
That's what I mean.
To embrace that in their 20s.
It's just not set up that way. Yeah.
Not true. Not true.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sound like Charleston White right now, so just bear with me. But our culture as a whole doesn't set us up for that. That doesn't mean that we can't be set up like that. It's more or less, you know, and I mean it's changing. I'm seeing the dynamic change, especially with this new millennium. That's why I kind of get frustrated with people in my generation or people older than me because they don't see the change. It's more and more kids now that are focused on, okay, when I turn 18, I want this to happen. I need this to happen. I need to be on this pace. They have a better plan because they have a better access of information. When we grew up, it was nothing about like that. I mean, you had people, I knew people that were, you know, they were strict on what they did and how they lived their life, and they either tried to do everything the right way or they did everything the right way, or to be honest, they got lucky. You know what I'm saying? That happens. Luck does happen. But excuse me, in those situations, these people took advantage of the situation that they had, made the mistakes, learned from them, picked up, and kept moving forward. You know, I unfortunately didn't have that opportunity. I mean, I won't say I didn't have it. I didn't take advantage of it because I was focused on something completely different. But most 18, 19-year-olds are focused on in my generation. You know, so
you know what though? I'm gonna give you what I consider this is my personal history evaluation. So most of our parents are products of the civil rights era.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our parents were either alive or born right after. My parents were alive during the civil rights era. So mentally speaking, they're from the civil rights era.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is they have children roughly 10 to 20 years after the fall of segregation.
Gotcha.
So mentally, our parents grew up with segregation where opportunities for Black folks were limited. Now they have this brave new world to give us, but they have no experience in moving in it. So it's up to us to find out how you maximize it, right? So here we are, we're the first generation post-segregation.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of opportunities for us. However, there's nobody to teach us how to take advantage of those opportunities because they haven't done it.
And that's where the problem lies, man. Everybody heard the saying, you know, you want to hire something from a Black man, put it in the book.
But let me take it to the third step because there's three steps to this process.
Okay.
We are now our parents' age when they were having us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Yeah.
We have the mental experience of living post-segregation. We can look back at all our mistakes and successes. Let me not just focus on mistakes, but we can look at it all and say, you know what? I'm gonna tell my kid this because I want him. Because see, our children don't have any direct connection to segregation.
Mm-hmm.
See, we could be riding in the car with our parents, and they would say something to us like, "Man, I remember when they wouldn't let us sit at that counter." And I remember when we had to march over here. We didn't have that. We every time I've been on a bus, I got to sit wherever I wanted. I ain't never sat on a bus and couldn't pick my seat.
But we want to be on the bus.
I can't teach my son anything less. I can't teach him. And for him, it's like, hey, dude, I don't even want you to think about it for real. I want you to know what happened because I want you to know your history. But I want you to think outside of just being allowed to sit somewhere on a bus. So we're teaching them from our mistakes. That's why they're grabbing it earlier, because they're simply standing on our shoulders and moving the ball further down the field. We can tell them stuff like, man, look, college is cool, but it may not be for you. Our parents' generation would never think of saying that.
Nope.
You better go to school.
And you got to realize, like I said, it's the information. It is like I've talked to many people. I've talked to wealthy old white people. I've talked to poor old white people, poor black folks, black folks, working class. I talk to all of them, and I always say, I'm blessed because my parents fought hard to keep me on a certain path. I can't blame them for the information that they were working with. They were working with certain information. And just like you said, it was based off of what they grew up on. We are based off of everything you said, we are the generation of change. We are the generation that's going to lead change. We just have to have the right people in the right places of power to facilitate that change. Because if you look at it now, we have, if you look at it now, we have change with, I saw something that blew my mind. All right, so I'm sorry. Yeah, so like if you look at it, like you said, we have civil rights era. Our parents grew up in the civil rights era, and we are in that generation where we grew up, we played outside. It wasn't a lot of devices in our face. It wasn't a lot of unfiltered social, unfiltered media. It wasn't all the stuff that's going on now, and I think that's why people in generations after us look at us like, why y'all not panicking and going crazy? Because we remember when that situation, when you had to go look in the encyclopedia and you couldn't just pick your phone up. You know what I'm saying?
The next morning.
You see what I'm saying? You had to, wait 2 or 3 days to know if, you was going to get the package that you ordered, which you had to call the 1-800 number line to do it. You couldn't go on Amazon and it's done in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna end it on this. You didn't grow up in the generation where you literally had a TV that was a big screen TV that sat on the floor.
Yeah,
flow mom.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about a big box. Like, we are that generation. We are able to live in the future enough that we can appreciate where it's gone. But we also know where we came from.
Maestro, I got a final thought, but I want to give you the opportunity to jump in before me if you'd like to.
I just heard we are the generation that have a chance to we can be a bridge.
Oh yeah,
we're a bridge from one world to the next. I'll be way in the future. So I just wanted to get that out.
I love that.
We have the opportunity. Be one, but we have the opportunity.
Yeah. And really, that's the cycle. I think that's a cycle that we embrace as we get older. Mm-hmm. Every generation is a generation of connectors. If you aren't thinking about your grandkids by the time you're 40 or 50, then you are being neglectful. You got to be thinking about your grandkids. That's what that board is about.
That's 2 generations.
It's about saying, okay, I'm already past my kid. I'm down to my grandkid. I want that picture on the wall. I want my grandkid to look at that picture and say, man, that old dude, he did something for the family. I don't care if they know. I do care if they know. But I'll put it this way. I just want the picture on the wall. But here's my final thought. And I'm going to wrap it up real quickly. That's why it's so important as we live in this new digital age, information age. I think it's very important that you start to understand friend for life, friend for season. I think the friends for life group is actually going to get smaller because we are in such a fast-paced digital world. But I think that what we can do to help balance this equation is start to appreciate our friends for a season and not keep looking at it as I brought the topic again as friends for life versus friends for a season. That was actually a trick of the words because really, I don't think they're in competition. They're not against each other. The battle is inside of you and understanding and being mature enough to say, I appreciate my friend for a season. So that's what I want to leave y'all with is learn to appreciate the seasons you in, learn to appreciate the people in that season, and keep growing, man. Chop Shop 205.
Yeah.